So as when I sat down in this chair, I didn't think about that this chair was going to support me. I knew it wasn't a thought. Like with that kind of faith or with that kind of knowing is what you consider to be, or what I need to experience is allowing, by identifying with myself as a human form. In past cases, there's been a lot of lack, a lot of fear, a lot of, worry and doubt and stuff like that.
A lot of disallowing.
But I started a process where I would not focus on my physical self, but focus on my vibrational self, my eternal self, my true self, which is abundant and pure.
So what you're saying to us, and this is really good, you found a way to focus yourself on the same subject, but around the obstacles of disallowing, by going general enough that there was no resistance in the thought.
Yes.
Good.
All right, then that basically was the confirmation I was desiring, that that's a good process or a good method to use when thinking about wealth, right? I tend to receive an abundance of money. I tend to include abundance of dollars in my experience, right?
This is the nice thing about what we were saying to you already this morning. And you're helping us say it in an even more clear way with the examples that you're offering here. So let's say that your desire, as you say, life has caused you to put a tremendous amount of wealth into your vibrational reality. But now you're getting a little impatient. You're saying, all right, Abraham, I get it. It's in my vortex. How do I get the money out of the vortex and into the bank? How does the vibration become a reality for me? And we say, well, you've got to get yourself in the receptive mode so that the impulses that begin to occur to you, so that you can follow the path toward the resources and the abundance that you're wanting. But let's say you are like a lot of people, and the condition of your current bank account has your undivided attention. So you just keep noticing the money's just not there. In fact, there's just not enough money. So then we say, and others have been saying it for a long time too, although almost no one really understands what it means. We want you to have unconditional love. We want you to have unconditional abundance. We want you to have unconditional clarity, which means we want you to no longer focus upon the condition that's preventing you from the receptive mode. Because the condition, you're facing the reality. You're facing the condition, and the condition is causing you to activate a vibration that is contrary to the vibrational reality that you want. So you can't get in the receptive mode because you're too much in the see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it reality mode. So you've got to find a way to be unconditional. Now that's the reason that we began with you this morning the way we did. So here's all of this abundance over here. It is consciousness, and it is abundance, and it is yours. It's got your name on it. It's yours. You put it there. It's been assimilated for you. It is your wealth. It's yours. But you can't see it because you're over here looking at your bank statement. So we say, don't look at that anymore. You've got to find a way to no longer look at the condition of money. You've got to find another way of translating that vibration into what? Into an emotion, into a feeling of freedom, into a feeling of ease, into a feeling of choices, into a feeling. In other words, don't try to spend it right now. Just enjoy the feeling of the prosperity of it. Now, if you're able to do that, then you'll practice the vibration of it instead of the vibration of the absence of it. And in your unconditionality, you will find yourself a vibrational match to this. So as you find yourself a vibrational match to this, then ideas come. Your timing gets better. Your rendezvousing gets better. Your point of attraction gets better. Things start breaking loose for you. Opportunities start coming. All kinds of things. Because, you see, the universe, your source, your inner being, knows every avenue. In fact, in every moment, there are 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 viable, receptive mode avenues for you to follow. But if you're focused upon how much money's in the bank, then in your conditional attention, the trees falling all around you in the forest, and you're not hearing any of it because you're not vibrationally in sync with it, because your facing reality has you in a whole different frequency. It'll never be said more clearly than that. So what are you going to do with that?
I'm like, to feel wealthy, what it feels like to be abundant. And
so instead of talking about money, let's talk about vibrational currency.
Wealth.
Instead of talking about wealth, let's talk about vibrational currency. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to freedom. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to ease of moving around. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to lifestyle. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to clarity, as it relates to vitality, as it relates to flexibility.
I'll practice that emotion, practice that knowing that it's already mine and I've already become it. The best way to practice it is by going very general.
So talk to us a little bit about the wealth that you seek, and we will help you find general enough statements all the time, recognizing where your vibration is, and we will guide you into the receptive mode.
Oh, I guess the wealth that I like to that I experience is the wealth that I can wake up and feel free, that I can go anywhere, do anything, and not worry about 20 years from now, not worry about when I'm 85.
It just seems you're not doing it right now.
Right. Okay. So I will go general.
Because you're giving too much information.
Right.
So with that notion in your mind, say it in an even more general, even less conditional, less specific way. Wake up in the morning feeling
joyous, feeling free, feeling that I can be, have, or do anything that I'm wanting, feeling.
So that's all right, but you're getting a little too specific, and it's words that don't mean very much. So let's play with this until you hook into something. So you wake up, or maybe you've been awake, you're focused in the moment. Who is this, by the way?
This is a little Jerry. Like Lil Wayne.
See, he's got it all figured out. He's got it all figured out. He's not interested in any of you. And you're making quite a ruckus. And you're even focused on him. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's just sort of doing his thing.
Yep.
Now, he might be asleep, but he's in a very general state of well-being. He's not worrying about anything. He's not trying to make anything happen. He's allowing his well-being to happen to him.
That's what I like. I like to feel like I don't have to do anything. I like to feel like...
You need someone to carry you around?
No. Not at all. No. I like to feel like how it's just flowing in easily, securely, abundantly.
Now let's just stop for it, because now we started to make it specific about carrying you around because you carried Jerry up here. But let's talk about the security that he clearly feels. Clearly, that's a secure dog.
Yeah.
Completely secure, not spooked by any of you, not interested in any of you. So do you have the ability to feel that kind of security? It's something worth thinking about. And when you think about it, security can be unconditional in this sense, not thinking about money. Now you could say, well, he doesn't need money because he's got me, but you don't need it either because you've got the universe. You have a caretaker that we are calling universal forces. Some would call it God. We will call it inner being. We will call it vortex. We will call it universal force that is surrounding you, that has already gathered all of the particulars of absolute security and abundance and brought it all together and is calling you to it. And the emotion that you feel, that feeling of security, is the feeling of not misalignment. That feeling of security is the feeling of allowing yourself to be in the vibration of that. Esther laid in her bed this morning. She woke up so early and she thought, I could sleep for 2 more hours, but she felt alert. And so she just spent that time in her bed thinking about how good the bed felt. And she was using words like complete well-being and complete comfort. I am completely comfortable, she said to herself. I feel complete comfort. I feel complete well-being. There wasn't a thought that she needed to think. There wasn't a task she needed to accomplish. It was just giving herself the permission to enjoy the surroundings of well-being and comfort.
That's allowing, right?
That's allowing.
Okay.
And so let's define allowing in another way. Allowing is not doing that thing you do that doesn't allow. Now, how do you know you're doing that thing that doesn't allow? Because you feel aggravation or worse. You feel tension or worse. So it really is a matter of tuning yourself. We couldn't be having this conversation under better circumstances because you have brought a demonstrator of such utter tuning to such utter well-being. Now, the beasts of your planet demonstrate that on a regular basis because they don't think themselves out of it. Oh, you can aggravate them to it. After a while, domesticated animals begin to act a little bit like you do. But it's not their nature, and it's not your nature either. No. It's your nature to expect things to turn out well for you. We'll hear you. So tell us again about the abundance that you seek, the wealth that you seek.
I want to experience security and...
Like this, or have you got it attached to the condition called money?
No, that's the thing. I left money out of the equation a while ago.
Well, we think you did.
Right.
We think you did, but if you can capture the essence of security,
right,
as is being demonstrated by this...
More relaxed, more...
By this... Is there a bank account with his name on it?
No.
Does he write checks?
No, he does not.
And so how do you explain his security?
He's more present, I believe.
There's another track that we're going down. Is he getting his security from you?
No.
Oh, that's so good that you know that. It's so good that you know that. He has a direct line of credit.
Beeline.
You all do, you see. And so he's just not doing anything to keep himself from being in that alignment. But what do you as a human do to keep yourself from feeling that continuous state of security and well-being?
I fear my future and regret my past, or I...
Yeah, well, most people do in some regard. So there's something to be said. If you fear your future and regret your past, there's something to be said for focusing in the moment. So here's someone focused in the moment. It's really interesting. It's so interesting, the comparison between the two of you. Because in the present moment, just allowing a complete realization. So we have some questions for you. Do you accept that you are an extension of source energy?
Yes.
Jerry does too. Do you accept that there is a vibrational version of you aware of you?
Yes.
And flowing to you at all times?
I do.
Isn't that a reason for some conscious sense of security?
It does, and I've never looked at it.
But you want to apply it to the conditions. You want to apply it to the conditions of wealth. You say you don't want to talk about the conditions, and yet they are rampant in your vibration.
They are.
You're not yet asking for what we're asking you to ask for, which is something that you've already got. So if you would accept that you already have that direct connection to the security that you're asking for, and you could revel and bask in that sense of security, then everything that matches that would flow into your experience as manifestation or realization or validation or confirmation of a vibrational stance.
Okay. What you just said to me had a little click in my brain happened, okay? So, all right, I do realize that I am an extension of source energy. I do realize that there is I'm aware that there is a vibrational part of myself that is aware of me.
Just for a moment, feel that awareness, feel that awareness, feel that awareness, and call it security. Call it source energy focused on me, and feel it. Feel it.
It's like being home.
Feel it. It's well-being. It's comfort and well-being. Feel it. Just rest in that. Don't need it to be about anything else. And don't need it to be the ulterior motive to get somewhere else. Just let that be what that bees. And stop trying to make it be other things for a while. And if you let it be what it bees until it bees it really steadily, then in it being that, abundance of all nature will be yours.